is it left stick click to boost? Yeah. Oh yeah. The Zoomer fashion thing. Cause like there's this thing that was making the rounds on Twitter. It was a bunch of like millennials bitching about Zoomers making fun of their fashion choice. You might have seen it because you're a Zoomer, right? Are you a Zoomer? You're a Zoomer. I think you count as a Zoomer. You're maybe like an older Zoomer. But yeah, they were just like bitching about like they were doing the thing. It's the classic like bitch about the younger generation thing. Every generation since time immemorial has done this shit. These like millennial whatevers, they took the time to like sit down and like write a little song. They wrote a little song, and this one lady who was like, she was doing like a rap about people trying to cancel Eminem, which like I don't know how you can. She's like Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem, and it's like how. First of all, how do you like put that on Gen Z? Like it's shit happening on Twitter. It's happening with everybody. But for some reason, like for some reason it's Zoomers doing it. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where like we're hitting like another 30-year cutoff point for like fashion change, for fashion trend shifts. I mean, like I don't know anything about the Eminem thing. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about Eminem, whatever. I think the whole like trying to like cancel people online is just kind of silly. It's just silly. But so like whatever. But like this bitch like took on like she went on like she did like a rap. She did like a rap, like a really shitty like middle-aged white lady rap. And she fucking like wrote it out. She wrote it out, recorded it on video, recorded a video of herself doing it with a beat, and recorded it, put it online, and looked at it and said, "Yes, I have done this." The internet's full of these fucking people. The internet's full of these people that are just like, they're like, they will record a video of themselves being like insane and like think that's okay and just like put that online. And I think that's the kind of thing where like that's the actual difference. This is a tangent. We're getting on a tangent. But that's kind of the difference between like rich people and like working people, is that rich people are like raised to have no shame ever. Like if you're like a poor working person, like you're trained in school to be like a good worker and like be good and obedient, and so you're like taught to just like constantly question everything you do and just have shame in everything you do. But if you're a rich person, you're raised to be like management. That's like the thing you're taught to be. You have that. You don't see any of that ever. That's why they get all those weird like you got a green hippopotamus in chemistry or whatever. So like they don't have a sense of shame. So they end up just doing this shit online and like being fine with it, you know? But no, it's like this thing that happens like every 30 years, right? Every 30 years, and every fucking time people bitch about it. And now like millennials are bitching about fucking Zoomers for not sharing their fashion choices or whatever. But do you guys remember like 2000s fashion? Do you remember the shit that like the shit that was like the fashion when I was in school, when I was in high school? That shit was not good. That was a low point for fashion. It was a low point. And people just did that shit. Like all this weird like insane layering of shit that had no business being layered with one another. Like people would take like a shirt and they would put like they get like a t-shirt and they would put like a tank top over it, and then like like a ruffle skirt, and then jeans under that, and then like Doc Martens, and they would be like, yeah, this is a look. This is a look that I'm gonna do. And they would like wear that, and they would wear that outdoors, talking to people while wearing that, and think that was okay at all. And these fucking people have the nerve to go online and like chastise Zoomers for like being like the people who get to decide what fashion is, you know? Like, oh my God, how dare they? So you know. But that's the nice thing. I think that is the nice thing about like, because I was never cool, right? I was never cool. So I think having, what the fuck? Oh, I got shot? I can't believe I got shot. Who shot me? What do we got? Beat a dick. Yeah, man. Oh, it's nice doming dudes with whatever. Hey, look at this guy. What was I saying? The full tank over a t-shirt with a ruffled skirt and jeans under it with Target knockoff docs. Wait, so that like literally, I just constructed that thing from just like the ether. You're saying that's like your exact outfit? Hold up. I'm busy. Thanks for following. And the skirt was a weird pastel pink corduroy and lace contraption that had no business being in Florida. Yeah, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. The weird like Euro trash like tracksuit guy, that's kind of a timeless look. Luckily. So I think you kind of made out okay. Like most of your people are pretty behind the times anyway. Like this is like, I remember like when I waited tables, there was this like fucking sausage English family who came in and sat down. The kind of thing where like they're just red everywhere for some reason. You know, that kind of thing. Like weird, like fucking, it's like a balloon that's just filled with random assortments of meat. It's like a human sausage, right? Those kinds of people. And they sat down at the table, and their two kids are sitting there with no sense of irony whatsoever, no shame. These kids were fucking upper crust bitches, 1,000%, for how little shame they had. And they were wearing like these bright white oversized tees, gold chain, backwards baseball cap. Both of them like they were a fucking mini boss in a shitty like SNES game. They wore that. So that was Anachronous back then, which was like 5 years ago at least. So it's even farther gone now. We've entered a new era, so it's even more fucked up. And they're probably still wearing that, honestly. But yeah, give it another 10 years, they'll find out about Rick's, and then it's, they have enough money for Rick's probably. But yeah, it's like these people that they're bitching about Zoomer fashion. It's like they're just salty because they remember a time when they were the center of the universe. They were cool. They remember what it was like to be cool. But I was never cool. So I have the perspective of you know what? It's not up to me what's in style or not. My job, I don't have to make these decisions. All I have to do is kind of vaguely keep my, oh no, wrong button. This one. All I gotta do is keep my ear to the floor and say, okay, here's what I'm supposed to wear. Pay attention to what the kids are doing. Oh, is bagginess in? Hell yeah, I'm on board. I'm 1,000% on board. Are you kidding me? My autistic ass, I get to just wear oversized everything that keeps me from having to experience touching. If I get to just wear don't touch me clothes all the time and be in style, are you kidding me? Sign me up. Sign me up. What a lot of people just gotta understand is that fashion is it's dictated by 16-year-olds and Koreans. And that's just how it is. You have a little bit of humility, you'll be set. I think that's the kind of, you just gotta have a little perspective and be not a, it's the kind of thing where you get to the point where you're starting to age, right? And you have a decision to make with how you're gonna age. Either you become like the person who like is just stuck in whatever era they were like cool once in, or you're the kind of person who like accepts like, hey, this is where shit is now. There are good eras and bad eras for fashion. There are good eras and bad eras for fashion. Like, the 90s all told were pretty okay for fashion. The only major fashion faux pas was like white dudes doing that thing that like Mexican dudes do with the spiked hair. Like you can do that if you're Mexican, you're good, right? But if you're a white dude doing that with like blonde hair, no. That and like long sleeve t-shirt with like a button-up shirt over it, you know? That look is not a good look. That look is not a good look. But like, think about what was on either side of that, right? The fucking 80s with like fucking everything being oversized, like you're trying to turn yourself into a fucking robot. And then the 2000s with like fucking, do you remember fucking those jeans that like zipped off in the middle? Do you remember that shit? We were all about that shit when that came out. Everything in the thousands was a mistake. Yeah, pretty much. The thing about the 90s is it had tactical bagginess. Like the 80s, it was just everything was oversized. It just everything's big. What do? I make everything big. What's my hair do? My hair is big. What's my suit do? My suit's big. Right? It's just big because we can make it big because we just invented hairspray, right? Or whatever, you know, we started using hairspray. Point is, the 90s, it was like you could have one thing be baggy. Usually, like the good looks were one baggy thing and one that's kind of like, not like tight, but just kind of generally U-shaped, you know? So you could do like, a good look is fucking tank top and just like baggy jeans. That's a good look. That's still a good look. You know? Or even like, I'm really vibing with just like big like boots, like big shoes, and like you can do baggy but like kind of drapey. That's a good option. The fashion looks so plain but so nice. Yeah. Well, the thing is like it's the 30-year cycle of like fashion, right? And what's 30 years before the 90s? The 60s, right? And the 60s was when I was like trying to get into fashion, which was getting into like trying to understand fashion was kind of the beginning of the rabbit hole for like being trans, because I wanted to like take seriously how I present myself. So the cardinal rule of fashion is that the 60s were the high point of casual fashion. Everything else is just a fall from grace. So 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Hey, we're back to good. We're back to good. Then we have the 2000s, the 2010s, 2020s. Hey, we're back. You don't have to. Here's the thing. You don't have to hew to like the worst excesses of whatever the fashion of whatever era you're into. You know? No, Red. It's not about like fucking being an e-thought. Okay, used vehicle. Okay, cool. It's not about being an e-thought, dude. It's not about being an e-thought. Fashion is about feeling good about yourself more than anything else. So I think you have a little bit of like incel brain, a little bit, not a lot, but you got a little bit of it in there. So the thing you got to be aware of is that people don't like dress up nice to impress other people or whatever, or to like get something out of people. You dress up nice because it makes you feel nice about yourself. So when people like put effort into how they look, they're really, it's the kind of thing where like you get out of yourself what you put into yourself. So it's like, yeah, let's just, and this is something I like for some reason I had hang-ups about wearing before, was wearing shorts and long sleeve shirts. I was dead set on like, you gotta have the heavy thing on the bottom and then the light thing on the top, right? That's how it works. So I would only wear like long sleeve, like long, like full length pants and then like a t-shirt, right? But actually flipped is a lot better. It makes sense, really, because you have a lot more thermal mass in your legs. So if you have your upper body all warm with your spindly arms and shit. Got any advice for deep anal fisting? Fashion stuff is a journey and like stuff changes, you know? But the nice thing is like, if, like me, you were like a fucking little autistic weirdo who was never cool, this is your chance to be cool, because all the people your age, like, they're still hung up on, like, being cool back when, right? So they're just like, they're busy being bitter and making like really annoying TikToks and shit. So if you can be the person your age who has enough modesty to just go like, well, okay, this is where the fashion is now, you're locked in. You're good. The era that like Zoomer, well, like right now we're on like 2021, right? So we're just on the cusp of like shit changing. But like people are bringing back like baggy jeans. But it's the kind of thing where like it's tactical bagginess, which I'm on board with. But 80s was just like everything big, which is bad. The only like fashion thing I demand is that fucking guys with baggy shorts. Yeah, baggy shorts for guys is a fucking travesty and it needs to stop. There are holdouts, right? There are holdouts, but like there's an appropriate length for shorts. And it's like mid-thigh. You get wiggle room within like mid-thigh, but that's it. Beyond that, you're wearing culottes. No one likes culottes. So I think you gotta just have like one big thing and one skinny thing. Not like skinny, but just like fitted, you know? It's like a slim fit. Slim fit jeans with like the puffy jacket, you're set. Soothe BB.